speaker? Who's the speaker? I don't know who the speaker is. Oh dear me.
Purpose. Secret. I rise to nominate Kevin McCarthy for Speaker of the House.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I think we have three objectives, three fundamental things we have to get done in the 118th Congress. First, pass the bills that fix the problems. In 2 years' time, we have a border that is no longer a border. We have a military that can't meet its recruitment goals. We have bad energy policy, bad education policy, record spending, record inflation, record debt, and a government that has been weaponized against we the people, against the very people we represent. So we need to pass legislation to address all that. And I hope my Democrat colleagues will join me. I really do. But I have my doubts. And if they don't, and if Chuck Schumer says, no, we're not going to take up that legislation that we pass, and if Joe Biden won't sign it, so be it. They'll have to answer to the people in 2024. Second, we can never, ever let a bill like the one that passed 12 days ago, $1.7 trillion spent, we can never, ever let that kind of legislation pass again. We have to pass a budget that makes sense, that's good common sense, then do the 12 appropriation bills that recognize it's the people's money, not ours, and send it to the Senate, and then stand firm on that legislation. And again, if they won't take it up, and Joe Biden won't sign it, we can stand firm on a CR or have that fight, but we are not going to have what took place a week and a half ago ever happen again. And then finally, third, and this is important, we got to do the oversight,
Will the House
do the investigations. We have to do the oversight, the investigations to be done. This idea that bureaucrats who put their name on a ballot but think they run the country, who have constituents First Amendment liberties, they need to be held. Has to happen. We need to do it.
Rock. We need to have three things, Jamarr. Three things that we need to have done is we've got to, okay, so number one, pass the bills that fix the problems. Okay? Then we need to have, what did he say? Never have another $1.7 trillion fucking omnibus spending bill ever again. Three, we're going to, what? Oversight? Oversight? So, hey, Jamarr, has there been a speaker as a Speaker of the House been chosen yet?
No, not yet. And that's because, you know, they're just, well, you don't have to put me on screen. I'm just saying, like, there's people
put
that
you on
don't
screen,
really
bro.
want him. I have to look more into this, but there's people that don't really want him in his own damn party. Like, it is what it is, though. Like,
you know, this is my thing about the Republicans. I keep telling you, Jamarr, what is their agenda? Willie Bragg said it was about neoliberalism. They don't. They can't even get it together, bro. They can't pass these. They can't do these three things. They can't even pass the Speaker of the House, bro. They're useless. Absolutely no ideas. And all they want to do is pass taxes for the rich. There's something else they want to do, guys. There's something else they want to do. We're going to have a little conversation about that. They want to get involved in the culture wars. So we're going to have a culture war of our own, guys. The culture wars, I don't know if y'all know this. They started with Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan did a little thing called the war on drugs and the war on poverty, which is a war on the middle class, of course. And ever since the war on drugs and the war on poverty, we've had a lot of different wars going on. We've got wars on, of course, crime bills for black people. We've got anti-gay sentiment. We've got xenophobia, which are fear of immigrants. This is all culminating to a new right-wing expansion pack that seems to run amok. It displays no ideas. It displays no policy positions, and it also makes us divided. So I'm going to be here. I'm here, guys, with Jamarr Jabari, and I'm here with Savage Unfiltered podcast host Michael Savage. We're going to have it out the way the right and the left should have it out, which is honestly, we're going to be honest actors. We're going to ask tough questions. We're going to ask you guys to join into the conversation. But there's going to be no pizzazz. There's going to be no today from me. I have some serious questions. I have some serious policy questions and serious ideology questions that I want to ask Michael. And I'm going to be holding him accountable, Tulsi Gabbard style. So guys, sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and please join in. Don't ever get high on the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. That is no tranquilizing drug of gradualism here. This is the Tommy Nation Politics Tuesday live stream. Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics. Guys, I'm here. Are y'all here? Michael, you here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Michael.
I can hear you.
What's up, Brett? What's up, bro? Go. How's it going?
Not bad, man. Waiting for the show to start, brother.
The show is starting.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like we're all here. For the children. All right, for the children. Really, it's not going to let me do this.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Just 9 years old and already had dreams of being a social media star. But last week, Jamal Miles took his own life.
He puts smiles on my face every day.
His mother, Leah, says over the summer her son came out as gay. Even before that, she says he was bullied, but after his death, she learned the problem had only been getting.
My daughter told me he came home and told her kids at school were telling him to kill himself.
Public schools and is deeply committed to ensuring that all members of the school community are treated with dignity. Jamal's death is evoking strong actions. Actress Laverne tweeted, "It must stop. Our bullying culture, killing children." He is CEO of the Trevor focuses on crisis intervention and suicide for LGBTQ youth.
We know that one person in an LGBTQ young person's life can make a huge difference. They can reduce the risk of suicide by 30%.
According to a CDC report, gay, lesbian, and bisexual high school students are over 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than their straight peers.
And I wish I could have took the pain of him.
Jamel, clutching her son's stuffed animal, says it's
He wanted to make people feel empowered. And in order to do that, we have to stop bullying and teach people it's okay to love each other.
She now hopes her son's death can help save other lives. Joe Fryer, NBC News.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking
Shut
out.
up! I'm not giving shout outs to NBC. NBC sucks. They usually do horrible reporting. But I'm here, guys, with the panel. And we're going to have some serious conversations because these talks, they're not just culture wars. They're real life casualties. Real life casualties on both sides. And the things we say, I believe in the butterfly effect. I believe positive energy. I don't know how about you guys believe, but I believe positive energy gives positive change. Negative energy gives negative change. So right now what's going on with there seems to be a big anti-gay sentiment that's been revealing itself with the gender norms being challenged. And we have some difficult questions that I really want to understand from the right wing, because I don't want to believe it's bigotry, but there's some things that don't seem to square with your ideology, Michael. And I warned you this was coming on my latest visit. First of all, is there anything like you want to any comments that? What did you think about that 9-year-old that killed himself? Like, what do you think about that?
First and foremost, thank you for having me on your show, Tommy. And you warned me. I think it's the other way around. We warned you, Tommy.
Okay, good. Well, I don't want to come at you like surprise, surprise. I'm going to get you, because this is not about getting people. This is about understanding.
It almost makes me want to wake up Joseph there in Detroit and bring him on. But he's an old man, and I'm sure he would love to pick your bones right now. But Tommy warned you about this, man, for months and months of what's going on, and you guys seemed to laugh about it back in July. And look what's going on, man. Look what's going on. States are getting fed up with what's going on here with the drag shows. I know in my state here in Florida, Ron DeSantis just passed a law making it a felony now for bringing children to drag shows. That's right, guys. If you're in Florida and you are caught bringing a child into a club that has a liquor license, you will face a felony charge. That's right.
Let's just break this down.
Did you see people bring kids to clubs to go to drag shows?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I had Tommy on my show back in, I think it was the summer, right, Tommy, when we were discussing the Dallas, Texas event. And that was, I mean, I have a clip. I would have to go through my archives to find it, though. But there is a clip where there are children being presented in this club where there's liquor involved. Tommy, you have to admit that was true. There was liquor involved. Yeah. There were little kids with $5, $6, $7, I think a couple bucks tipping these entertainers, which I think is disgusting, if you ask me.
So, Michael, here's a point of agreement. First of all, you're not wrong. There was a tape. You're not crazy. And I personally, when I'm in a bar, I don't want to see a bunch of children. It ruins the buzz.
Can I ask a question before we go any further?
I don't know anything about these events, but
he's right. He's right. Though I was on a show.
Yeah, let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. I don't mean to step over Jamarr, and I'll give him the floor. Obviously on the show, it's not my show. I'm going to try to respect the panel here, but I'm very heated up, and this is a very heated topic here. We're discussing it. Literally facing headlines all over the national news, and rightfully
so. What headlines? Like, you acting like this is a fucking world crisis or some shit.
It is a world crisis, Jamar, and it should be looked at severely. It is a world crisis. You're damn right, it's a world crisis.
Who would ever condone bringing a kid to a bar? Like, that's stupid. But that doesn't.
I didn't hear Michael's question. Michael said he was going to ask a question. Did you ask a question, Michael?
Yeah, my question is that, to answer Jamar's question, it is a severe crisis what's going on. There are children being poisoned, toxined by this radical agenda.
What is the agenda, though? Because, I would like to know the agenda, because you clearly know the agenda more than I do. And
I do know the agenda.
We're the
it's sick and twisted, and it's fucked up. That's what it is.
So, Michael, one of the things I'm going to have to ask you to do on the show, and I usually let you just say your opinions and whatnot, but here, because of understanding, we need specific examples, so we can reference those. And by the way, the Sauce report is on. Sauce, you seem to be on okay.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me okay?
That's the last time you're going to say that, though, right? Can you guys hear me okay? Last time he was like, "Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?" Yes, way to step into the hornet's nest, Sauce. We're having a contentious conversation.
Sauce, I think we got the mic check, buddy. Good. 10-4.
Right. But okay, so I know.
What is the agenda, though? What is the agenda of this whole the transgender stuff at the bar? Because
that's what I'm trying to find out. I want to find that. I want to find out what is the agenda.
Jamar asked that question.
Okay,
so what is the agenda? What is the agenda? I need a manifesto like Karl Marx.
I don't know. I think that's the question we have to ask you guys. What is the agenda of this drag community bringing children into these clubs? What is their agenda? What's their message behind it?
So
I
I'm
don't.
not
I
bringing,
don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Jamar.
Yeah.
You asked the
I don't
question.
know.
So.
Yeah, I don't know the drag. I don't know any drag people in Florida. I probably know 2 or 3, but this whole thing, just like, okay, I have been brought to a bar for a wedding as a child. I have been brought to a bar for a birthday party as a child. So I'm not, and then also in Texas, you can bring your kid to a bar and also give them a drink. Actually, that's
Jamar,
actually a
we're
law.
talking about a
So
bar, a regular bar that literally is not referencing any type of inappropriate sexual behavior, such as drag.
first of all, kids are not supposed to be at bars, but parents are going to bring their they're just going to bring their kids wherever the hell they want to bring their kids. Why? Because those are parents.
So this is the thing. This is my big question. I have a question
If
now.
you,
So
Yeah.
this has to do with your ideology, Michael, because I have been trying to. Being in Texas, I try to understand conservatives. One of the things that you guys talk about a lot is big government. Big government overtaking you, right? You don't want big government. So you want freedom and liberty. You want freedom of speech, right? So when a big government or again, any government tells you mandates things, you don't like that, right? Right?
I'm not for big government.
Okay, so DeSantis literally took the freedom out of the hands of parents to teach their children anything. I don't know what the agenda is, Michael, but let's just look at the big picture.
Explain that, Tommy. Explain.
Let me explain this, please.
Yeah, explain that. How did DeSantis do that? Explain that.
Well, he created felonies. You just told me he created felony charges.
Yeah, they're severe charges. They should be severe.
That means that parents no longer have the freedom to decide because they will be faced with criminal consequences.
Tommy,
does that take the freedom away?
Tommy, why are children going? Tommy, why are children being exposed to this behavior at 5 and 6 years old? Though,
look, I don't know. I don't have kids. I'm asking specifically because you don't like big government.
There's no such. It has nothing to do with freedom. It has nothing to do with freedom. It has to do with children being exposed.
It does have a lot to do with freedom because they're trying to make like Florida is like literally trying to make parents not give the decision to kids that want to be who themselves. I was a child when I came out, so I don't need to be forced to be straight or anything if that was who I was. Like, it makes no sense. Like, if you know your child and you actually want to take care of your child and let them be happy instead of being like my parents. I'm sorry, mom and dad, that who was very against homosexuality, and which was part of the reason why I had problems with mental health and everything until I was able to get out the house and actually live myself. But I was hiding who I was.
Hey, Jamarr.
There's a lot of kids. You saw the video of the kid that killed himself recently.
Yeah, hey Jamar,
so,
let me ask you a question.
That fixes anything when you just like, oh, these people are grooming, they're pedophiles, and all this stuff.
We've got to be concise, and we've got to be direct with our questions.
But let me ask you a question, Jamar. How about we ask this child in 20 years how he feels? How about we ask these children 20 years later? You know what they're saying? That they wish they had parents that would discuss the birds and the bees correctly with them. That's what they're saying 20 years later.
Who told you that?
Who told me that? Guys, look, I have a lot of great sources of what I've been told.
There is no Michael and Jamar conversation. I don't like to be.
I'm sorry, my bad, Tommy.
I will.
Let's get the Sauce report in here. Let's see what Sauce feels about this, because Sauce is a Christian man, and I'm sure he feels very, very severe.
My father's a pastor.
I'm authoritative.
I have
once again, I have to be authoritative. Once again, I have to be authoritative, and I will have to be authoritative, guys, today, because we have to have order. We must have order today. So, Sauce, I just asked Michael what he thinks of big government. He said he doesn't like big government. He doesn't like the government telling you what to do. The government of Florida just created felony charges for parents, and in the natural law of order, parents are responsible for children. Honor thy father and thy mother. It's an institution of Judeo-Christian values. DeSantis created felonies, taking away that freedom. What do you think about that? Is that big government? First of all, direct question, Sauce. Yes or no? Is that big government?
Yes, because therefore you're now making a prison system. You're expanding the prison system, and you're now making it a game in the prison system, and which I'm against.
Thank you for answering my direct Sauce. Thank God for you were here. You just answered my question. Do you want to say anything, Sauce? Anything about this at all? You have the floor now.
So I have to say that, okay, so what DeSantis is doing is I mean, bless his heart, but I think he's doing a power grab, and he's stating that, look what I'm doing. And I'm kind of going on this, where I think DeSantis is now thinking that he has a clear run. If he goes like as like extreme as he can be on the 2024 ticket. And I think somebody is grooming DeSantis, and somebody's telling DeSantis what to do. And so somebody in DeSantis' ear is saying, if you want to have a chance to run for 2024, here's what you have to do, and here's how you like the playbook. And that's what I think about that. I'm starting to second guess on DeSantis because
I like the comment on that, what Sas just said.
Sure, Michael, go ahead.
Sas, you mentioned the whole grooming situation. What do you mean by grooming DeSantis?
For instance, I think DeSantis is not thinking for himself anymore. I'm thinking that he is surrounding himself with like the big establishment, with the big GOP, and they're giving him a line and they're giving him a directive of what to do and giving him the platform. Because in 2024, who's the best candidate? And a lot of people are thinking DeSantis now. And they're trying to wean himself away from Trump. And so that's what they're trying to do. And that's what DeSantis is trying to do. And that's what the GOP and the big establishment is grooming him. And we're seeing that backfiring today on Capitol Hill when the Republicans can't agree on putting McCarthy in as Speaker of the House.
Jamarr, what do you have to say? Anything?
Yeah, I
now
mean,
you have the floor.
A lot. The issue that I see abroad is that a lot of these policies are being put into place. Some are bipartisan. A lot is from a conservative standpoint that is passing all over. I can't think of the state right now because I'm trying to like be in control of my emotions and know that this is a podcast and should have respectful dialogue. But for instance, they're taking healthcare away from queer people and all over the country. They already passed legislation in certain states to take healthcare away from even trans people that they have to go through all these loops and holes just to get care. Like how we're taking access to healthcare. Like that's the first thing. First they took down abortion. Democrats fell on that. They cashed they shot the cash cow right in the face in front of the White House, the whole abortion thing. And now they feel emboldened to try and just take as much as they can from all different types of walks of life. And that's what's happening. That's the agenda. And and that's not democracy. That's wrong. When you take healthcare away from people just because you don't like the way that they are, that's it's not right. It's part of the attacks. All these are part of the attacks.
I have to step in and first and correct Jamarr, buddy. We don't live under a democracy. I hate to correct people on their own show or platform, but countries like Russia, countries like Venezuela, that's a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. I like to put the correction in there.
We're literally a crime syndicate run by oligarchs. We're not any of the republic.
We're not a democracy.
We all know that, but they say that they have democracy 24/7. And my issue is that if you're going to say you have democracy, you want people to trust in this country. Why can't you?
The system we're living under, sir, is not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. Even though it's broken, it still is a constitutional republic. Again, Russia, China, that's democracies. This is a constitutional republic. It's an entirely different system.
I want to switch gears from constitutional republics and democracies to I want to know about definitions, guys, and I want to know about what is exactly. Are you saying that the bars, Michael or Sauce? Are you saying the bars are the things that are the kids' problems? Or
the bars?
I haven't finished my question. I haven't finished my question.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm going to say, or the drag queens are inherently evil.
Well, I have a comment on that, Tommy, and I'll give you a clear answer if that's what you're looking for.
You didn't even let me finish my question, but
go ahead. I'll let you finish the question.
Just to sum it all up, because I want to be understood, is the bar scene the problem, or do you believe that the drag queens are inherently evil because they have, like you guys like gender norms, you like institutionalism, you don't like them challenging the gender norms, you think that is inherently evil, drag queens. And that's why they can't be with kids. Or is it the bars?
Well, first and foremost, I don't have anything against drag queens, if that's what you're trying to ask. I don't have anything against drag queens. I've mentioned this on my show. Sas can relate. I wish I had Joseph on the panel too, and he can relate too, but Joseph might go into an extreme dialogue, and bless his heart. I mean, that's Joseph. We got to respect him. He's been in the political scene for 20
I
plus
do.
years, you know? He's a highly political activist, and like I said, been in the scene for 20 plus years. Bless his heart. But I mean, I've been in this industry for 20 plus years too, as a shock jock radio personality. So
Candace Owens said, "quote They are underqualified to be with children. They should not have their own children. Their children should be taken away from them." This is Candace Owens.
yeah,
Because it is child abuse, and it is a child abuse to put a half-naked adult in the room
I agree
with
with
a small
her.
child. So you're saying that drag queens are inherently evil, then?
I agree with
What you're saying.
Candace Owens, and this is something that Sas and I talked about on Savage Unfiltered not too long ago with Candace Owens. I agree
You
with
just
Candace
told me
Owens.
that you had nothing against drag queens. Now you're saying
No,
they're underqualified to have children.
no,
Now you're saying that they
I
are
agree. Hold on,
That's
you're
a
putting
problem.
words in my mouth. I agree with Candace Owens to an extent. You know, there are some drag queens that are very, very decent civil individuals, and then you have other drag queens that are taking it to the extreme level. Okay, the ones that are taking it to extreme level, not respecting the industry, right? Those are the ones that really don't deserve respect to begin with, Tommy.
What industry? What industry? Not
The
respecting.
adult industry.
Okay. Sauce, you're super quiet, and by the way, you're so cute. You're shaved and shit.
Well, Tommy,
I think
hold
Sauce is
on.
hottie, by the way.
Yeah, there was something that you asked me before. I didn't give you a clear answer, but
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go
there
ahead.
was there was a report here in Florida with these bars, okay, and it came out of Fox Miami 2 days ago. You can look it up. Actually, if you go to the Instagram or YouTube channel of Fox, I know Fox Orlando, Fox Miami, Fox Tampa here. They're covering it very, very heavily here in the state of Florida, where when DeSantis put this law in place, they are giving leeway to these clubs. Now, say it. Now, if you are going to open up these clubs, open them up at your own risk. But if we catch anyone having these clubs opened, okay, and you have a liquor license, and there are children coming into these clubs, okay, that club owner will have to pay a severe fine plus penalties under law now with this new Florida law. And I do agree with that. Okay. It's a club. It's designed for people in that community of the drag to have fun and do whatever they want. Okay. I respect that. But what I don't respect is little kids at 5, 6 years old, man, going into these clubs. Okay. That is totally, that's wrong. It's wrong on a lot of levels.
So I understand. Okay, I'm gonna let Sauce talk because he's at. I think Jamarr can ask a question after Sauce, but go ahead, Sauce. Do you have anything to say about that aspect? You're a religious person. What do you think about drag queens? Are they inherently evil? What do you think about all that?
Well,
Sauce, are you? I'm sorry. He's saucing out, bro. Sauce is
Nah,
saucing out.
I don't. Sasha, you there, buddy?
I think he's frozen.
Oh my god, dude! Like you're literally the FBI has you, Sauce, because you can never produce a good connection. Jamarr, do you have anything to say while Sauce is glitching?
Well, my thing is that I have seen like I feel like the approach that's happening right now is a lot of fear mongering, and this is exactly how I feel. I don't think anyone that has been pro getting this bill passed or anything has actually went to these drag shows to see how the culture really is. I don't think anyone has actually taken initiative that are very homophobic, want to actually go and talk to these people and see what they're about, where they come from, or bring any of the kids. That there's a lot of youth programs that goes on for LGBTQ youth. And I don't know what youth programs happen in Florida, but I always seen when there was kids around that were of the queer community, it was always an adult in the room that was professional, and it was always kids coming after school to have a place to express themselves and be themselves. And I give these kids 1,000% respect for being able to do what I couldn't do coming up as someone who was hiding to be pansexual. And it's absolutely sad because I think that these laws and all this stuff, they're doing a lot of fear mongering, and they're trying to make parents have a hard time that have these kids, and they're already trying to give them a life that they deserve to have. But it's harder when the kid is having a preference of something that is not respected in society. And I don't think that there's any malicious intent at all going on. I don't even think these people are selling booze at these bars or anything, but I'm not there, so I don't know. And if they are, and these parents are bringing their kids along, like, it's people have brought kids to bars all the time. There's a restaurant there. I just think that it's just they're making complaints about a lot of things that are shadowing the real issues, how healthcare and how a lot of discrimination is being allowed that is making queer people lives hard. And I just don't see this being a good bill to pass. And putting people in jail for stupid shit like this. I really don't.
Yeah, I got a comment on that.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, sorry, Michael. Go ahead.
Got a comment on it, guys. I'm going to try to hold my composure, and it's very hard for me because I am usually savaged and unfiltered. We're doing great.
Oh yeah,
but here's the thing. No, here's the thing. Like Jamarr makes something. He made a point here with he doesn't believe that there are children being exposed to this behavior and this and that. Folks, look on TV, look on media, look even on your liberal media, your conservative media. The proof is right there. I mean, they're not staging this. This is exactly what's going on, not just in Florida. It's going on in Texas. It's going on in New York. It's going on all over this country with this radical rhetoric of behavior. It's literally out of control, literally out of control. Rewind 20 years ago.
I'm going to push back. You said behavior. Behavior is very general. I need specifics. But behavior. What behavior is out of control? This is what you got to do to make us understand.
Tommy, how come we're not questioning the children now? How come we don't question the children and say, do you think this behavior is wrong for mommy and daddy bringing you to these clubs? How come the media is not questioning the children? You know why? I can tell you why.
They don't know shit.
No. Children are very smart. Children are very smart.
You be smart. Michael, they have the capacity to be smart. No. Do they know about the law of nature? Do they know about the law of Moses? They know about the law of motion? They've never been to school. How are they smart?
You're avoiding the question, buddy.
Do they have doctoral degrees, Michael? Kids aren't smart.
You're avoiding the question.
Don't know shit.
You're avoiding the question, bud.
Kids have a capacity to be smart. They're dumb as shit.
Again, I'll repeat myself until you say it, buddy. You're avoiding the question.
What's the question?
How come we're not interviewing the children that are going to these clubs and asking the children, like, do you think it's wrong for mommy and daddy bringing you to these clubs? You know what you would hear? You know what response you would hear?
Stupid. Why would I ask a cat?
No, you know what the response you would hear?
Kids don't even want to go to school, Michael. Kids don't even want to go to school.
No, you would be surprised with the response that you would hear from these children. I guarantee you 90% of these children, 90% of these children would say, yes, it is wrong for mommy and daddy bringing me here. Yes.
Okay, but it's okay to bring kids to Hooters.
It's also wrong that mommy and daddy make me eat broccoli. It's also wrong mommy and daddy make me eat broccoli, and they told me to be nice to my sister. Okay? That's what would happen if we interviewed kids, Michael. We would have all this shit about how Joey is fucking stepping on my foot and you won't stop touching me. Kids are stupid.
Why are you guys standing up for all this behavior? This is wrong.
Are you okay?
They
bring kids to Hooters. They bring kids to Hooters.
I'm not saying up for it. I asked you a question. Kids are stupid.
They got these pageants, these beauty pageants for these toddlers. I think that's problematic as hell too. Like,
Jamarr, you know this is wrong. You know it's wrong, and you know it's wrong.
No, it's not wrong.
Michael,
it's just a damn drag show.
The reason we're having this conversation is we don't. So you gotta remember that.
Well, it's wrong.
Sauce, are you there? Sauce, can you stop saucing out, bro? Sauce. Sauce, you make me so angry, but he's got such a nice chin.
Buddy,
How
you
much-
got to get. Bless Sauce hard. You got to get better Wi-Fi, buddy. Plug yourself in as audio or something. Do something. I don't know.
Yeah, bro.
But let me.
Hey,
I want to
can we just take a
respond
moment
to.
and agree, Michael? Hell yeah. Cool.
I wanted to share
Okay.
something real quick. The drag culture has expanded beyond the bar. There's drag shows everywhere now, especially in New Haven. They have them out literally at block parties where the state literally.
But Jamar,
pays for
how come we
drag
weren't
shows to
having
be
this
out.
conversation 30 years ago?
Those are family events because 30 years ago we were more homophobic and more violent towards.
No, we
people.
weren't.
There's a difference. We're not,
Sir. I'm very much older than you, and I can tell you why we weren't having this conversation 30 years ago. You know what? You want to know why?
It was avoidable, right? It was
no, it wasn't avoidable. No, because
family.
No, sir, because the LGBT actually respected society. That's why.
How many gay people do you know? Like, you actually speak for the community.
I know a lot. I know.
Yeah, you do.
Thing on this show. Yes, they would.
Gay clubs and stuff like me.
They would tell you the same thing on this show. I know a lot. Yes, I do.
You go to gay bars like me and everything.
They would tell you the same response on this show.
I don't know. I just think that drag shows.
Several years in Christendom. There are only half a dozen countries in the world in which it is a but for some reason, Britain. So what's it like then to be a male homosexual in Britain today, whose only choice is between a lifetime of complete sexual abstinence or being a criminal?
Pretending, guarding your language the whole time. I feel that to a certain extent homosexuals can be recognized by what they say, even when they're discussing perfectly ordinary topics. Therefore, I guard what I say, even on perfect ordinary topics. I guard what I say the entire time.
How do you think homosexuals reveal themselves when they're talking about ordinary topics?
Perhaps in the assumptions they make about their future, which are going to be different from heterosexual futures. I make a deliberate effort in my conversation, sometimes, to imply that marriage is in my future. But talking at ease, I might give away the fact that in practice I know it's not going to be any part of my future. I might make some remark which shows I take it for granted that marriage, children, perhaps even a house are sort of something I know are perhaps never going to happen to me. And that is possibly a giveaway.
Did you find it very hard to come to terms with the fact that you are homosexual?
Yeah, from 16, about 20, 22 or 23. The whole of that associated my mind, guilt, sordid, unpleasant, in a way associated with reasonable, mature, normal, ordinary, pleasant people.
Tommy, where'd you get that video
what it
from?
was like, Michael, today. YouTube. You could go to YouTube and find all kinds of clips about how it was illegal to be gay.
You know why I asked that question,
people,
right?
The reason Stonewall happened was people were getting beaten. People were getting beaten for being gay.
Yeah, you know why I asked that question, right?
Why?
There was a report. What the hell am I getting? Sorry about that.
It's Sauce.
I think it's Sauce. Sauce, what the hell are you operating on?
Trying to figure out
server or something?
1945 server or something?
Anyways.
Anyway, you were saying, Michael.
But yeah, no. Here's the thing. The reason why I asked, you know, like, there was a part in that interview where the woman or the guy, or I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah, you couldn't tell,
you know, because
he didn't want to show himself. He was afraid.
Well, you got to, you know, no, because you got to watch how you say things today because the pronouns, it affects the snowflakes out there. But anyway,
you are so hilarious.
you know, here's the thing. Here's the thing. They were asking that individual, why do you feel yourself as being gay? And she really couldn't give a clear answer. or he couldn't give a clear answer. He's confused. That's why, because it probably went back to a childhood memory where he was abused or he was,
my God, Michael,
sexually
Michael,
violated or this and that. That's why.
Speculating.
Oh, I'm not speculating. 90%
You
of
are,
it.
because you don't know.
90% of it.
Speculation means you don't know for sure. You're just guessing.
Once again, you're not letting me speak, but it's all right. 90% of what goes on right now in the gay, lesbian, queer, transsexual, whatever group you want to label it, 90% of it comes from abuse from childhood memory. It's a guaranteed fact.
Okay, guaranteed fact. Can I see your statistics, please? Can I see those
I
statistics,
have
please?
statistics.
Yes, well, I'd like to see them, please.
Just like everybody else will show you the same statistics.
Show me
it's
the
a guaranteed
statistics, Michael.
fact.
Okay, well, show me if it's guaranteed. I'd like to see them. Do you have them?
You want a guaranteed fact, huh?
No, I want to see the statistics. You said it's a guaranteed fact. If it's a guaranteed
Yeah,
fact, then I want to see the statistics.
Let's have the same.
May I see the receipts, please?
Let's have the same show next Tuesday, and I'll bring on a doctor of mine that's a psychiatrist, and she could show you statistics.
No. I don't want anyone to show me anything. I want to see the statistics.
Oh, she'll show you to it.
I don't want anyone to show me. I see. I
Why?
like children because
It would blow your mind.
I did go to
I know
college.
that.
I did go to college. I can read, and I would like to see the statistics. I don't want to be spoon fed. I don't want to be. I don't want anyone to wipe my ass. I would like to see my statistics.
Tommy, we explained
the food. I'd like to take my own shits.
Tommy, we explained the statistics to you about a few months ago. Joseph did the same thing to you on the show, and you still didn't listen.
Explain me statistics. Yeah, I will never listen because you know why?
Because
Michael?
you're naive.
I want to see. No, the reason is because I want to see the statistics. I don't want you to tell me.
You're naive, buddy.
I don't. No,
that's the problem.
Michael, let me just tell you this. I don't trust you. So I want to see the statistics.
That's the reason why your party's failing.
No. The reason I don't listen to you is because I don't trust what you're saying. So I'm gonna need to see the statistics. Okay.
You know, this is a clear example of what happens when you put.
Is that clear?
But hold on. No, listen. This is a clear example.
I don't trust you. I need to see the receipts.
When you put a liberal in the corner, they can't get out of it.
Oh. You're literally in a corner right now. Because I need to see this.
I'm not in the corner. You're in the corner, buddy, not me.
You're in the corner. I mean, you literally.
You're backfiring on me. I'm not backfiring on you. You're the one that's backfiring on me.
You know what you're like? You know what you're like, Michael? You're like the Karen in the customer service aisle who has no receipt. And the customer service person is saying, they're saying, hey, can I see your receipt, ma'am? Well, I'll show you the receipt. Well, ma'am, I like to see the receipt. Well, I'll read you the receipt. I'll read you. I don't need you to read me this receipt. You see, ma'am, I have a job. My job is to return your fucking shit with your receipt. That's our policy. My policy is I need a receipt for returns. If you don't have the receipts, I don't give a shit how you describe the receipt. I don't give a shit where the receipt is. I need to read the statistics. So this is your fundamental understanding. You talk about how my party. First of all, I don't have a party. And Michael, I'm really not going to let you do this today. You are going to either give me facts that I could read myself, or what you're saying is speculation, hearsay. It is inadmissible. It is propaganda. And today, Michael, I am not going to let you do propaganda. Okay? You either have facts and evidence, or you have nothing. Because I promise you, today, I warned you. I have all the facts. Anything that I say, I will back up on the internet immediately to you. If you can't do the same for me, I got no use for you, bro. I got no use for you today because I need to understand this. Sauce, are you here?
I don't know what's going on with my sound. Okay, I think I got fixed, right?
I hope so.
Sweet. Okay, so okay, can I state something? Okay,
yes,
no kids should. I don't think it's right for the media to say, "Hey, what do you think?" Well, I don't think. See, here's what I'm kind of disagreeing on. Okay, we should not be asking kids how they feel. That's should be off limits because it's up to us. Okay. You know, would you agree with me on that, Tommy and Michael? What do you think? Because it's not fair for us to harass the kids. Then we're borderlining harassment. We're harassing the kids.
Well, here's a question for you, Sauce. Here's a question for you. Is it fair to bring children into these clubs that they have no idea what it's about. Is that fair?
I mean, you have, well, you have all these kids, okay? Some of them they don't have a choice, number one, because either their parents are babysitting them, number one. Number two, they're curious. And because when I was a kid, tell you the truth, Michael, if my parents want to take me somewhere, I'm like, can I go? Can I go? And sometimes I just had to sit there and then brace and just see what I just saw in front of me. I could look away and play the jukebox, back in the day.
Hey, Sash, you've gotten to know me. You've gotten to know me for almost a year and a half now through the show. And I'm going to say something here. And I normally don't even cut off my own personalities on the show. Okay. But here's something here for you, Sas. You mentioned a point here. They don't have a choice. Okay. You're right on that. They don't have a choice because they're led by a parent that's not really giving a shit about their well-being and their welfare. Okay. We have a country here where we have a welfare system. We also have a system called DCF. A lot of it's called, sometimes people call it in different states, Department of Children and Families, right? How come Department of Children and Family is not stepping up to this? So
you like big government, Michael? You just told me you like big government again.
Yeah, it just sounds like you like big government, bro.
Because big government.
That has nothing to do with
He's a big government liberal, bro. He's a big government. He wants the government involved in everything, bro.
That has nothing to do with big government, Tommy.
Put on a mask, bro. Put on a mask.
No, that has nothing to do with big government, and I'll tell you why it has nothing to do with big government.
Government agency to get involved with kids, bro.
No. We have a system called Department of Children and Families that are in the system to protect children from parents that are putting children in harm or dangerous environments. And this is what it is. It's a dangerous environment. Now, if they're putting them in a dangerous environment, then those parents should not have those children. They should
drag
be.
shows are not dangerous environments. They're popular. They're
Jamar,
mainstream.
you have to say it like this, Jamar. You're deciding what the dangerous environment is. So can I have evidence of that? Why is it dangerous? You need to provide evidence of the danger, right?
Well, first and foremost, why it's a dangerous environment is, okay, let's take, for instance, for a clear example, let's go back to the summer of 2022. Okay, when I had Tommy on the show and we discussed the Dallas event. We'll use that as an example, folks, and you can go back into my library and you can hear that exact episode as it was played, okay? For an example, okay, we discussed what a dangerous environment is. Where they're bringing children in. Hold on, let me finish. I know you want the point, and I'm going to give you the point. Sometimes I have to drag it so you understand a little bit. Your audience and your listeners can understand it from a conservative view. Okay, I'll give you it on a conservative view. Okay. Now, what the dangerous environment is where the parent is bringing a child into a nightclub. Okay, where then there is liquor. There are women of drag or men of drag or however you want to view it, okay, wearing provocative clothing to a child at 5 or 6 years old on a psychological viewpoint. That is looked at very, very different angles. For all the child probably cannot contract anything of what's going on, doesn't understand one thing from the next. You labeled the child earlier in your show, Tommy, as stupid. No, children are very, very smart, especially more than ever now that they have their hands on latest technology. A child or 5 years old can tell you exactly more than you could at that age 20, 30, 40 something years ago, depending on how old you are.
So here's the statistics and here's the information. Okay.
Where cite your sources?
So it's actually on the CPS website, so Child Protection Services.
Okay, thank you.
And I have it right here.
You want to go ahead and tell me your statistics, please?
Yes.
Do you have them up, Sauce?
Yeah. Well, so the 8 most common reasons CPS may take children from parents' home during an investigation. So there would have to be an investigation. Number one, if there is use of illegal drugs, if the parental consent, like the parent said, hey, you can investigate us or you can take my child. Inadequate care, medical abuse, sexual, and then you have physical violence, and then abandonment and child neglections. So taking your child to a strip club or even a bar that's got drag shows, that doesn't fall under CPS. That doesn't fall under physical abuse, sexual abuse. Parents are not going to say, "Hey, come look at what we're doing." That's not considered CPS.
Okay, Michael. All right, just make sure.
Sas, can you give me the exact? No, we need to see clear records here. When was that put into the CPS law frame? What year was that put in, sir?
That was put in. Let's see. I thought it's always been put in. It's been put in. I'm pulling it up. It's under. So it depends what state you're in, but it
has nothing to do with the state, Sas. Respectfully, buddy.
2021 or 2022. June of 2022 was updated. So Child Protection Services Safety and Intervention Standards.
Right.
The most updated version was June 2022.
Right. What I'm saying is, let me cut you off there for a minute. What you mentioned, it depends on the state. It depends on the state you live in. That is absolutely false. Okay. Now, the reason why I tell you that is because CPS or DCF or Department of Children and Families, however you short term it, it all falls under the same scenario. They all fall under the same scenario. Doesn't matter what state you're in. All the states have to apply to.
What scenario are you talking about?
Huh?
What scenario? What you said? It's the same scenario. What scenario are you talking about?
The same laws are that doesn't necessarily mean that you could live in Texas, you could live in Florida, you can live in Wisconsin, you could live in any state. They all have to follow the same basic principles under the laws of the Constitution. It has nothing to do with the state.
The laws of the Constitution. See, that's funny. You said the law of the Constitution, Michael. The laws of the Constitution are even more vague than the CPS guidelines. The laws of the Constitution give us life, liberty, and happiness, and inalienable rights.
So here's my question:
they give us freedom of speech, and they give us the freedom to manifest our own destiny. You're telling me that the DCFA or whatever is going to allow us. So that's unconstitutional. It would be, right? Because that would go against the Constitution's amendments for us to have life, liberty, and happiness.
So, according to the Florida statutes, you can look up on Florida, and they updated theirs in 2022 of June, and they updated their Chapter 39 of Judicial Branch proceedings relating to children, and that's in Chapter 39 of the Judicial Branch in the state of Florida. They updated that in June of 2022. So that's Florida statutes.
That's Florida statutes. So are the statutes different in every? Or is it federal? Is it federal? I can't see that shit.
No, well, I'll send it to you.
You guys send the link in the chat, my brother.
Here's the question. Here's the question for your listeners, though, and also your audience base. Okay, you have these certain clubs. Sas mentioned something that, as long as it doesn't provoke or promote any type of drugs, illegal drugs, or any type of narcotics in that matter, it will not violate that law. Okay, now that may be so, okay, but the last time I checked, is alcohol not a drug?
Yeah, but they don't. A parent can
answer my question, please. Answer my question, please. Is alcohol not a drug?
Alcohol is a drug.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a drug.
Okay.
But it's not a legal drug, like the dude just said.
It has nothing to do with if it's illegal or not illegal. Okay, let's all go back to the
Sas, does it say illegal drugs or does it say drugs?
It said illegal.
Illegal drugs.
Illegal drugs.
Okay. So let's take, for instance, the liability issue. Okay, why DeSantis put this in place? Let's look at the liability issue with alcohol. Okay, a 5 or a 6-year-old child at a club. Okay, when the parent or parents are around these children. Okay, and here's the protection, folks, of where I'm getting at with this. Okay, and I applaud DeSantis for doing this because he's protecting our children. He's protecting our next youth. Okay.
You saw that made that case.
Hallelujah.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. when a parent is in a club, are they listening and watching their children at, depending on how size of the club, it could be a small club, it could be a large club, it has nothing to do with it. But if they're sitting down in a chair, a lounge chair, a bar stool, whatever, okay, are they constantly paying attention to their children as they're sipping this alcoholic beverage? Are they paying attention to their children?
You sound just
But
like
Michael,
McCarthy. You sound just like McCarthy, bro. Just saying.
But Michael,
Are
there's
they
holiday
paying attention
parties
to
with
their
liquor
children?
involved. There's
And not,
holiday
not
parties
Kevin
with liquor
McCarthy.
involved.
Not Kevin McCarthy.
There's
The other
bar
McCarthy.
mitzvahs. There's a lot of different parties that
Okay, a
adults
bar
have with their
mitzvah would
kids
be with
being
family
around,
and everything
and they
else.
drink.
That's a different story. That's a different story. What you do at your own home is your own business. We're talking about a public.
But if alcohol is the biggest problem, they're always around alcohol if the parents like to drink alcohol. That's
If
just,
there's anyone on the chat who wants to make any comments, guys, I see you going in and out.
No, well,
there's your comments on them.
But here's the thing, okay? Number one, last time I checked, if you're in a bar, if you're in a club, they normally have bouncers, and if they see a child walking around like a stray, that bouncer is going to bring that child back to their mom or back to their parents, and they don't know if they're drunk or not. But as long as they have to have a tight restriction on where their children is, and if not, the bar owner or the bouncer can kick out the parents for letting the child walk astray. So there's a tight restriction where the child is right by their parents. Am I correct on that?
And also, the bouncer
I
can't
don't
decide
know,
whether or not
but
the bouncer can't decide whether or not the kids, the family's intoxicated. If they're intoxicated, there's public intoxication laws already on the
Sure.
books.
oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
if you're
yeah, there is.
intoxicated around children, there's even stricter laws in Texas
Yeah.
about that.
And the bartender cannot even sell if they find out they're intoxicated. You know,
That's
that shit.
correct.
And they cannot let you drive because if you kill yourself, the bartender can also be liable.
It's responsible. Correct.
Sure. So there's
I
other
used to work in the
there's
restaurant,
guidelines.
and that was definitely guidelines that.
See,
that
Michael,
went
there
on.
doesn't need to be big government, bro. We already have the laws in place to keep us safe. We don't need more government. We need smaller government, Michael. Michael, we
Yeah,
need
but
smaller government.
you're constantly sticking up for it, and I think it's sick.
Well, I just think we need a smaller government, Michael. I'm just trying to talk about.
You
the
know, it's
smaller
not going to
government.
be a funny laughing matter until something happens to, like, somebody
What's funny,
near
Michael?
you.
What's funny is you haven't proved your case, and you have no receipts, and everything you're. I don't know if you're keeping score, but everything that is going on here is not proving your case. So that's why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at how mad you are. I'm just laughing at the fact
I'm not
that you haven't
mad.
proved
I'm
your case.
concerned. There's a difference.
Well, then make a case, Michael. Make a case, please. This is not the end. I'll be on your show if you like me to. We'll do a part 2 where you have your receipts. I'll look at those. But so far, you haven't made any cases, and everything has been disputed by the laws that exist today. So, as a free thinker, I'm just saying, Michael, those are
I don't
jurists.
know. It's funny too, Sauce, buddy. Respectfully, your thoughts on this are a lot different.
Nobody's laughing at you, Michael. It's just the fact that we need you to prove a case before we can make a judgment.
Your thoughts on this, Sauce, are very different, man. When we talk about, I'm not sure exactly why you're going in another direction. It's kind of interesting.
Well, Michael, but the
He
thing
was
is,
just reading the statutes and laws.
Yeah, but we have discussed this and everything, and I mean that's just my thoughts on it. I mean,
do you have any extra thoughts, Sauce? Sauce, look, I deal with Michael, so I can deal with you too. Do you hate gay people, Mike? Too, Sauce? I'm just kidding, Michael. I've been drinking now. Now, Michael, I can't be around kids. Okay, I literally don't want to be around kids and can't be around kids. So,
yeah, but you think it's a funny matter, and this.
Oh, I'm just trying. I'm trying to lighten the mood.
Sick and demented.
That's all. I have a show.
well, here's my whole thing. Okay, so when reading the big 4,155 bill that was passed recently, it took me 5 days and 9 hours to read through the majority of it. And when looking into CPS, when reading into this kind of statutes and stuff, you have to read the laws because there's going to be people that are going to counter argue. And if you don't have any, like if you're just on merit, like, if you just it's not opinionated, but if you like have no facts behind it, then you just get creamed, like you just get ran all over.
See,
I'm not getting ran over. I'm giving you the
you are,
facts.
Michael.
I'm
You're
giving
getting
you
ran over.
facts from last summer. I'm giving you
Yeah,
facts
you
of
don't
what's
have
going on
receipts.
here, and you just seem to like it's a laughing matter to all views, and I don't think it's a laughing
I'm
matter.
not laughing, Michael. I'm not
No,
laughing. That's the thing.
nobody's
I'm not
laughing
laughing.
at that. But Michael, if you would like us to enter the evidence into exhibit, I need to see receipts. And see, Sauce had that receipts sources. You're telling me these things. They need to be backed up by evidence. Don't you understand that? Like people can't. If you say you murdered somebody, if someone said Michael murdered someone, we would need evidence of that. Otherwise, we can't just throw you in jail because someone said Michael murdered someone. That wouldn't be proving a case, Michael. That's why we need due process.
There's proof all over.
Guilty.
There's proof all over the media. I'm not sure exactly why you're not seeing it. Maybe you live in another planet or something like that.
Is this the same media that you say is fake news and the enemy of the people?
But maybe you're not seeing it because you probably live somewhere else that they don't show you that.
I don't know. Watch the media. They haven't told the truth. Never. The media's never told the truth. And by the way, the media doesn't show
I think you're supporting something that you really don't know nothing about. I think that's why. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all I can say, Michael,
I know a lot of drag performers. I know a lot of
change my
people
mind.
that are in the community, man. Like I know them, and I don't never see that kind of like intent. I hear about that intent.
I see it all the time.
I see
it all the time.
This is why y'all's conversation is going to go nowhere. Because Jamarr says, I feel this, and Michael says, I feel this. I say, I need proof.
But he's talking about a community that I understand.
But Jamarr,
I know the queer community.
But he doesn't understand the same.
My community.
You have the same you have different perceptions.
No, I don't have different perception. I
yes,
see
you
it.
do. He's a Jamarr, and you're a Michael. Y'all have different perceptions.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you all don't get like the fundamental blocks of how you were a white man who grew up in Georgia. He's a black man who grew up in Connecticut. Y'all are different people with different stories and different experiences.
Well,
y'all ain't different.
I grew up in Queens, New York, and it's a different story. But
I didn't know that, Michael. My bad. Okay, Queens. Hey, the nanny. Anyway, the fact is that y'all had different experiences. Y'all eat different food. Your shit probably even looks differently when you take a shit.
I think you're supporting something that you don't know nothing about, and I really think you should.
I'm not supporting anything.
I really think that you should look into a lot of what you're trying to preach on your own show.
What am I supporting? Could you tell me what I'm supporting, Michael? Because I don't have kids.
Well, obviously you're all in for it because you want more research, and you want more proof.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Here's my question for you: like, when this actually happens, what's your answer? What's your thought process going to be when you actually do see it? Are you gonna be in shock? Your jaw is probably going to drop.
I'll be like, why didn't Michael show me the receipts? Jesus Christ,
see,
I would have known.
It's a laughing matter to you. You're supporting something that's sick and twisted and demented.
Why do you think I'm not being funny? Like if you have something,
I don't think it's funny. I think it's not a laughing matter. I think it's sick.
Either. Okay. Well, you can keep thinking it's sick, but the laws are the laws, and sorry. So anyway, guys, for the last, literally, there's nothing else to say. The laws are the laws, and you think it's sick, and that's your opinion. But in this country, we have freedoms, and so you might like big government. You might like to be fascists or whatever.
Hey, Sas.
And encroach your views on other people, but in this country,
we
don't do that.
Yes.
The Constitution. And so
why don't you explain to Tommy of what your church is going through with this group, and maybe he'll understand a little bit differently.
Tell me, Sauce. Tell me.
Well, there's churches. So there's churches in the state of Wisconsin that's splitting because the political divisiveness is splitting these churches and is splitting multiple congregations. You look at the Methodist Church and you look at even some of the Catholics. For instance, let's look at the Methodist Church. The Methodist Church is splitting because the one congregation or one sect of religion believes that everything's all hunky-dory, while the other side believes that, like, let's get more down to the Judeo-Christian values. So that's why we're going. That's why there's going to be that's why there's a major shift in the Christian world and in the biblical aspect, because so many people are getting conflicted and different views and different aspects of life, and they're now twisting it to thinking that's okay to do these kind of shows, and it's not okay to do these kind of shows, and it's okay to put drags inside of churches, and it's okay not to. But then the other half is saying, no, church is off limit because you're infringing on spirituality. You're infringing on God's, on the promise, or not the promised land, but you're infringing on where people worship. That's what's going on inside of our churches. And that's where I think the political divide, that's where we're politically divided.
So, Sauce, you know as well as I do that the church has been going through these things from the beginning. The church had the Reformation with Martin Luther, and that's how all of the other Presbyterians and Episcopalians came to be. The church does this. All religions do this at one point or another. So it's not the drag queens, Michael. It's really just the church growing, and their perceptions are changing. People's values are system is changing, and it's really, it's not something that it's just another Reformation, don't you think, Sauce? Or is it the drag queens?
No, it's not just a drag. It's not just a drag queens that's splitting the churches. It's also just the concept of, loving thy neighbor, and it's a concept of like that full, like, do you love thy neighbor, and what does it look like, and who is grafted in God's plan? That's a reformation that we're seeing in this day and age. That's why I see.
I agree with you. I agree with you, because back in the day, remember the Catholic Church decided. With Anne Boleyn, who was a legitimate marriage. Do you remember you ever see the Tudors?
Yes, and also who was allowed to go to heaven and who wasn't.
Right, they had indulgences, and that's why Martin Luther nailed those demands on the door.
99 demands. That's what he.
The 99 demands, bro. That was the first Reformation. I think this might be the second Reformation. It might actually make the church stronger because they have to argue these things. What do you think?
I had to take this outside because I have my little niece around, and I really don't want her listening to any of this because it's sick and it's demented, and I don't want her near this type of behavior. So.
We get it. You're very emotional.
What is sick and demented? Talking about people being gay and
Jamar. I'm doing this.
It's be a snowflake.
I'm doing this to protect my family, okay? And this is
you had to get your safe space. You had to get your safe space, Michael. I understand.
It's not a safe space, man. I'm giving her protection right now, so she's not around this type of disgusting material. Because it's
totally, bro. I understand the safe spaces.
I might be savaged and unfiltered though, but I do have a heart and I do have morals, okay? And these parents that have these children around this sick, fucking demented shit, they belong in fucking prison, and these fucking kids belong away from these fucking parents.
See what happens, Jamarr, when you sit back and now he's emotional. Now you realize that this is personal to him. Don't you see that, Jamarr? Instead of just yelling at him. Now Michael reveals himself. This isn't about laws. I'm not. Really, something's up with you, Michael.
No. I'm protecting kids, and I'm doing the same thing that Governor DeSantis in the state of Florida is doing, and every
outside his house
should do the same thing.
Governor DeSantis is standing outside his house, pissed off and screaming obscenities about people that you don't know. I don't think so.
You're blinded, man. You really are. You are a blind man. You don't see the damn truth.
I was outside my house crying my eyes out about an issue that doesn't matter, like really doesn't have to do with me. I would ask myself.
And you know what?
Personal with this?
No.
I'm not trying to get you. It is.
It is personal when these little kids, man, don't have a damn voice, because the damn voice that's whispering in their ear, like. Hello. The little voice that's whispered in the ear is a demented parent saying that it's okay when they know damn well it's not okay. The little kid is being manipulated by the parent. That's what manipulated.
Were you ever manipulated by a parent?
Was I ever manipulated? No, I was raised by traditional values of a family. I was raised the same way that Soslin was raised by his parents. Traditional values. That's why Dots and I don't have anything wrong with us, because we were raised by traditional parents.
Do I have something wrong with me? Are my parents not traditional? Just wondering. Can you tell me about my parents?
I don't know how you were raised, but I know how Sauce was raised because I see how Sauce was raised. Sauce comes from a family that's very traditional.
This is super interesting. Michael, I'm going to end the show now because I think that this is
I
all
think
very
you need to
interesting.
wake up, my friend, and see what the real truth out there is.
I'm a leftist, Michael, and I see pain in your eyes. So
No,
I don't think that's
I
fair.
don't. There is no fucking pain in my eyes.
Okay, whatever you say, man.
And I'm very
Anyway,
surprised
guys,
that Sauce is not speaking up on this, Sauce.
Sauce, is there something that you want to say before I end the show?
You're a Christian man, and this needs to be brought about. I mean, I thought we're fighting for this country. I thought we're fighting for this country, man. You're not fighting for this country because you're letting it go right by you, brother. That's what's wrong.
Michael, it's okay. I'm gonna end the show. This is getting a little bit too emotional for me. So, on your part. So, anyway, we're gonna be free thinking, innovative, and open minded. And now I realize that. I mean, you know, I learned
And you're
something.
smiling about it, Sauce. How dare you, man?
Okay, guys. So, guys, at the end of the day, it's really us, right?
Fucking jerk off, man.